Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Battlefront II Modded. In today's episode, we're taking a look at some more of the Ultimate Battlefront: The Clone Wars mod, playing on the Jal Khan map, which is actually a map that goes back quite a while. This map was originally created, it was one of the first couple of maps that I made. It's gone through a couple of revisions, and I mean, to be fair though, it's kind of stayed the same. And it is kind of a generic, I don't know, dark, stormy kind of map with some Yavin assets and some random other stuff thrown in. To be quite honest, I will say that in this mod, the maps are definitely not the high point. A lot of the maps are kind of like, not a whole lot of effort put into them. Most of the time I spent building this mod, I spent working on the sides. I mean, the maps, I mean, they're okay. They are new maps. I mean, they are something to play on, but at the same time, though, a lot of them, they're kind of lackluster. This one's kind of like it's two bridges. You kind of got two choke points there, which doesn't create the greatest gameplay. And I mean, you got command posts lined up on either side. It doesn't really allow for much movement. You kind of just have a bunch of battle along these two bridges for a while, and that's about it. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to completely just talk down this map. I mean, I suppose it is. It's an okay map. I mean, it's not it's not a bad map or anything like that. And it looks like we got Count Dooku as our hero if we get enough points to play as him. But I do believe I have some more units to show off on each of the sides. And of course, we have to play through quite a few games to show off all the units we have. So the Mandalorian Mercenary is a new one for the CIS that was not included last time. So he's got a sniper rifle, which I believe is actually going to be more powerful than the standard unit's sniper rifle, and it's actually going to be a one-shot kill weapon. And he's also got a wrist flamethrower, kind of like Jango Fett and Boba Fett in the default game. And he's also got, let's see, a radiation launcher, which I think, yeah, that's the Magna Guard's weapon in the default game. So yeah, an interesting combination of weapons. The sniper rifle is obviously a long-range kind of weapon, whereas the radiation launcher slash mortar launcher slash grenade launcher slash whatever you want to call it is more of a short-range one-hit kill weapon. Actually, all of his weapons are one-hit kill weapons, and then we can go use the flamethrower to do a bit more damage. And it looks like this sniper rifle does not have the scope or the reticle show up. If you notice, I think last episode when we played as a sniper, oh, what's happening? We got stuck there for a second. But the sniper rifle last episode actually did have a reticle to it, so that's kind of interesting. So let's go and play as the heavy assault droid. This is basically just a B2 super battle droid, but bigger and bulkier and more powerful. Yeah, that's about all there is to this guy. He does have, you know, the wrist cannon and the wrist rockets. I think the wrist rockets are just the standard wrist rockets you have in the standard game, whereas the wrist blaster is a super fast-firing blaster that has terrible accuracy at range, it seems like. All my shots are going like way wild. I wonder if I stop and crouch, if that might make it any better. If this guy doesn't get in my way. No, they still go way wild. So yeah, I guess this is more of a short-range kind of unit. Don't really want to be using him at long or even medium range. Yeah, and I was kind of hoping we would get a different hero, because we did get Count Dooku last time, but yeah, this series, this playthrough of this mod will probably be quite a few episodes, because I do want to get a chance to show off as much as possible, and because things are randomized, I mean, you never really know when you're going to get a chance to show off, you know, all the individual heroes and all that kind of stuff, so we'll just have to see on that front, but we are going to go ahead and capture this command post up here on the beachhead, and that should give us a bit of a lead. We're currently neck and neck. That's just kind of the thing that kind of happens. Like I said, this is a kind of like evenly balanced map where neither side really has much chance to advance for the most part. So it tends to be pretty even matches, although they do turn into, you know, more of just a kind of a fight in the center rather than being a actual, you know, tactical battle where you have to capture all the command posts and such. So this is the B1 droid commander. He has a cluster grenade launcher, which actually fires off one grenade that bursts into a whole bunch of grenades that explode into, well, they are grenades, so they explode. So basically it's like a whole bunch of grenades. It's also got poison grenades. I don't remember exactly how these work. I guess that missed, okay. trying to get somebody with that, and now I'm out of them. We'll have to show off the droid commander at another point, I'm pretty sure. Okay, there we go. We have a couple more. Let's see what they do. I don't know if they actually poison. No, I think they just do damage. I think that's all they do. It's just basically just a damaging weapon that just has a different kind of explosion effect. And it looks like they captured that command post back, so we're going to have to retreat a little bit here, throw some cluster grenades down. There's Commander Thyre, who is the commander of the Shock Troopers, the red clone legion you see over there. Yeah, we're still getting prompted to place Count Dooku. The scatter grenade launcher is actually pretty powerful, because you drop it into a group of enemies and it basically creates a huge explosion with all the grenades that get scattered around, so it is a pretty good weapon. And we've also got an orbital strike droid. We can see if we can pull that off, although it's kind of hard to do because the recon droid you use has a very small amount of health and tends to get killed pretty quickly. So let's see if we can do it. Blammo! There we go, that's awesome. Okay, and then we've only got a couple more reinforcements to knock out here. I'm going to go ahead and pick up some health, so we'll be a little bit better off. As far as the clone troopers command post over on this side of the river over here, obviously they got the beachhead over here protected by a little barricade. There's another little area back there and another part of, I guess this is a town? I don't know. You'd think I'd know what stuff is because I did make this map, but at the same time it was one of my earlier maps that I made, and I was kind of following, you know, making the map just what looked cool. I mean, I just wanted to play with different objects and all that kind of stuff. I didn't really think about like what makes sense, how to make an actual, you know, like realistic seeming setting, you know, where stuff actually makes sense. And oh, I guess we're doing another orbital strike. Can we hit it before? Can we hit it before? There we go. Oh, did we get him? Yeah, we got him. Sweet. Okay. But yeah, it's not really a very realistic setting. It's kind of just, I don't know, just some random objects that I decided to look kind of cool together. So yeah, we do have a couple more clones to kill over here. Let's put on our disguise kit, and that way you can run in there. I don't know if they're still going to shoot at us or not. Try to get some headshots of the guy in the turret. Oh, and that's it for that mission. So yeah, next mission we're going to check out is the Dantooine map. And after that, we've only got one more map in the mod to show, and then there's a couple other things we want to show off as well. So let's go ahead and hop into the next map here. Alright, and here we are back with another map. This is the Dantooine map, and we are going to play it as the 607th, which is really cool. And as you can see, I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell, I suppose, if you don't really pay that much attention, but they have gotten a bit of a fresh coat of paint. This is a new updated 607th character skin from the Saga of the 607th. At one point, I always planned on going back and redoing the Saga of the 607th. Well, there were a couple plans in mind. At first, I intended to include all the maps that were in that series in this mod as kind of like additional little missions. And then eventually I decided not to do that. And I always meant to go back and, you know, update the skins to the more recent ones that we used in this mod. And to possibly, you know, add like campaign missions as well. I feel like that could have been cool. And that was kind of the original purpose of the mod, but we never really did go back to that. So that's about that. But yeah, focusing on what we're doing right now, we're playing the Ultimate Battlefront, the Clone Wars mod, and we are playing as the 607th Legion. Each of the legions does have certain specific units that are exclusive to their legion. And also we have different random clone commandos each mission as well, although the clone commandos are actually technically all the same. They have all the same weapons and everything like that, so that's not all that interesting. But we have the EMP specialist, who I believe was called the Officer back in the Saga of the 607th, but he does have the ion rifle that he had in the Saga of the 607th, and he's also got grenades and mines and commando pistol. Nothing too interesting, honestly. The ion rifle is literally just a rifle that has lightning impact effects. There's really not that much special about it. And I realized going back and playing these mods, just how, I don't know, basic everything is, you know? Like, I was talking about, you know, when we played the Jalcan map, how simple that map was. I mean, this one's the same way, too. And I feel like I didn't put very much effort into this at all. And I feel like I could have done a lot more with it. But I don't know. There just wasn't enough creativity, I believe, in this mod. I think that's probably the biggest failing here. None of the maps are really stand out that much. I would say out of all of them, the Geonosis map we played on last episode was probably the best of them, and maybe tied with Abrogado Ray. I think that's how you pronounce it. And that's the map that we're going to be playing next episode. But other than those two, the maps are pretty lackluster. The sides are, I mean, the whole randomizing gimmick, the whole getting something different every time is definitely interesting. It does keep things fresh. But at the same time, a lot of the units feel kind of samey and don't really have a whole lot unique about them. So I feel like that's something that I probably should have expanded more on. But it has been years and years and years since I touched any kind of source file related to this mod. I don't even know if I have the source files anymore. I don't think I do, actually, because I have switched computers a couple times, and I don't think I have these source files for this mod anymore. So even if I wanted to continue it, I could not. But I don't know. I just look back and there's so many things I could have done differently. But at the same time, I mean, this does remain one of the more popular mods for the game. And I suppose I should be pretty proud of that, because it is quite the achievement to have, one of the top few mods for the game. I know if you look at just about any site that hosts, Battlefront 2 mods, that a lot of times this is among the top few. And yeah, I am pretty proud of that, even if this mod doesn't really live up to my own expectations nowadays. But anyways, we're playing as Commander Vax, and as you'll notice, we didn't get Zacian, the Jedi hero, from the Saga of the 607th, because the hero unit is randomized separately from the Legion. The Clone Commando is also randomized separately from the Legion. There is a Clone Commando who technically was supposed to go with the 607th Legion. He wasn't actually present in the Saga of the 607th. He was supposed to be a character in the Saga of the 607th 2, which was kind of like a sequel that was actually going to be more story-based. There were so many ideas I had for mods that I never really finished, and but yeah, the Clone Commando Jalek, I think, was meant to be a Clone Commando for the 607th. He was supposed to have his own story and everything like that. And this was kind of his introduction in this mod, but alas, that never really came to fruition. But anyways, we're almost done here with this mission. I feel like there's so much more to show in this mod, so we probably will be doing some stock maps after we finish up all the custom maps included in this mod, as well as the Gylesh Seabed map, which was a map that I released a little bit later on, that I did include support for this mod in. So yeah, and with that, we are done with the Dantooine map. And we're done with this episode of Star Wars Battlefront 2 Modded, so I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, stay tuned for more. See you guys next time.